Well, hello everybody. Today was the day in the morning that we got the announcement that the John Lennon collection for Mind Games, I don't know, the super deluxe box, the giant monster box, and also all the regular variations, the smaller variations that are more affordable, are officially coming out on July the 12th. I made a video discussing that if you want to check out my video on my channel today, but I figured I would open this up for people to discuss. I don't know if anybody out there wants to discuss it, but I figured, you can give your comments pro and con. And I'm sure that most of the comments may very well be con, negative, because I've heard nothing but negativity in all my comments and other videos too. A couple of other, two or three other people made videos and they gave their opinions. And in all these comment sections, mine as well as theirs, there were negatives in there, and I understand some of that. And I just thought we'd discuss it, and I would tell you what I think, and we can just mull it over, huh? So I'm going to put an invite link up here, and I mean I don't know who's out there that would want to join us. Just give me a second to get that up here. Um, I didn't do a live stream today, so I figured, well, let me do one now. Hello to George. Hello, Peter Boothroyd. I don't think the album Mind Games is good enough for a 1350 pounds deluxe box set like this. A lot of people have said that, and I can be fair about it, objective about it, and say, yeah, I think out of all John's albums, maybe the Plastic Ono Band album or Imagine, the first two would be more worth that doing that for. But that ship has sailed now. I should say from the beginning that, from what I'm understanding, Sean Ono Lennon was very impressed by the George Harrison estate, All Things Must Pass Uber Box Crate edition that came out. So he was inspired to do a Lennon album a big set like that himself, from what I understand. And unfortunately for some, I guess, Plastic Ono Band by John and Imagine had already been done. So it made sense to just do line games, I guess. So the box set is not out already. No, it'll be out in July 12th. But we're going to discuss the news. And that's really specifically what I want to discuss here today. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know how many comments we'll get, if anybody's going to want to talk about it in the comments. If any Beatle people are going to come up here with me. People are probably working or busy, but I'm just trying it. Ted, I think you left a comment on this. The only negative is not being able to buy 7 LPs separately. Yeah, I forget. I mean, I'm not sure about that whole thing, how that's working out. I think there's just a 2 LP set available. Am I right? Hello, Penny Lane. Hello, Dino. What's going on? Am I getting the Uber Cube? Okay, I made my video and I was very, at the end of the video, I was very like, what you call it, cliffhangy about it. I didn't really say that, what I was going to do. And at the time I made the video, that's what I thought. The answer is yes, I am getting it. Absolutely. I look right into the camera. Yes, I am absolutely going to get it. Um, and I'm not ashamed of it. A lot of people would kind of make you feel ashamed the way you read some of the comments. So we won't go there too much, but I probably will as we start talking a little more. No, not ashamed of it at all. But there's a whole bunch of things to say about it. Yes, I do think it is outrageously expensive. I think the price of $1,350 is insanely high for it. But I thought about it a while, and what I did was I placed my pre-order. Okay, and I'm going to try to answer all questions. Now, as you know, sometimes the John Lennon estate sends me free things. I have no idea whether they're going to send this. I'm doubting it. only because of the size of it. I still would welcome it if they want to send it to me. I'd welcome it, but I don't want people to think, "Oh, sure, he's open minded to this set because he doesn't have to pay for it. He's going to get it for free." Well, as of right now, on this date, May the 15th of 2024, 15th of May for those of you in the UK, as they say it. There is no word whatsoever whether I received this, and I doubt it because it's so big, the big one. They'll probably they've sent me in the past smaller editions, but so I'm not expecting it. Uh, you know, but there you go. So let's take some of the comments. So one way or another, I'm going to get it is what I'm trying to say. Whether I pay for it myself or whether I wind up receiving it um, as a gift and cancel it, or have both. Maybe I'll have two copies. Um, so let's go. The 6 CD is the same as the previous issues. Imagine and Plastic Ono Band. I'm guessing so or similar. Uh, I think it will work out because these are chat topic discussions and they're the best on this channel. Well, they're usually pretty good. It's good when I have people up here. I actually wanted to be up here with Andy Nichols from Two Legs, but I don't know if he can make it. So I'll just do it myself, or see how it goes. If anybody else, be in the Beatle community wants to come up, fine. Okay. Good. I ordered it too. I didn't know you did. That's interesting. Mike Bass, great. I'm glad to hear it. I'm excited for you, Joe. And as I say, I'm not trying to say it's not ridiculously priced. It is, and I'm telling that right for the Lennon estate. I think the price is way too high. Okay, but I did want it. So I took, I didn't know if I'd be given a review copy, so I ordered it, and we'll see what happens as time goes on with that. Uh, Christian, hello. Looking forward to the set in July. That's going to be one hell of an unboxing video. Yeah, I don't. Who knows? My video when I do it might not be the first, but hello, Jonathan says if you're happy to pay, then why not? I think it's way too much. Well, I say I think it's way too much as well. So we agree. And I know when you say if you're happy to pay, that's just an expression. If you're will, I guess you mean if you're willing to pay, because I'm not happy about it. I think it's too much. And I've heard a lot of comments under my video about this. People saying, "Well, I'm retired. I don't have the money. I'm on a fixed income. So am I." But the way I've always been my entire life is I'll find a way to make it work. If I have to sell something else, if I gotta be a little tight for a month or so, whatever it is, I find a way to make it happen. And I'm proud of myself that way. And the reason I'm saying it this way is because so many people are like, well, I don't know. I've heard a few people say, let's see, groceries or the mind game set. I guess I'll choose the groceries. I do both. I have my groceries, I have my electricity on, I pay my bills, and I have my set. And I do it all on a fixed income. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. So, but I make it happen somehow. I don't legally. I should say legally. I pay for it. I find the funds or the means somehow. Whether I got to pay on time, a little at a time, whatever I do, I find a way. Somebody told me that well, there were 1,100 copies. Somebody told me there were about 90 copies left only. They went from 1,100 to 90 since this morning. That's what I've heard. I think John's music is the best. Love his solo albums. I'm sure the price will rise once it sells out. I don't. You never know for sure about that. Mind Games is my favorite Lennon solo song. It's one of my very favorites too. Uh, does it appear that the I'm the Greatest is exclusive to the Record Store Day EP? That's one thing that's been puzzling a bunch of people, including myself, and I didn't really notice it. I didn't notice it when I made my video. That I'm the Greatest was supposed to be part of the deluxe set as well as the Record Store Day disc. And for some reason, there's no indication. It's not on. It's not in the on the website. It's not listed as a track. So it may be, maybe it's a bonus track or a mystery track or an Easter egg. I don't know. It's not there. You know. I'll go along with you with this. You need a dictionary to even know what some of the things that come in the box set even mean. I agree with you. Definitely agree with you. The Lennon estate probably would not send the cube box to you because of its limited supply. Well, I agree. I was to say I'm not expecting it. Not expecting it at all. It would be marvelous if I got it, but I'm proceeding with this just as I would. I pre-ordered it on the Lennon site, Lennon store, just as I would with any release otherwise. Um, yeah. From what you've heard, the new Mind Games mixes sound stellar. Yeah. I say good for anyone out there who can afford it, and they will have a lot of fun with it. As I say, I can't afford it, really, technically. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's beyond my means. I'm living beyond my means, but I've always tended to do that. And so far, as of this point in my life, I've always been able to be okay. I haven't regretted that yet in my whole life. Maybe one day I will, but that day is not here yet. Thank goodness. Uh, Sometimes you got to live off scrambled eggs and whatever that is for a few weeks. Hello to Claire. How you doing? Okay. Hello, Gus. I think my Apple products I buy are priced too high. That's just the way it is. Yeah, the price of the George Uber boxes stayed about the same. Yeah, I think people have told me that the George Harrison All Things Must Pass Uber box is still available, and that yeah, like you said, it's about the same price. It's not that it's been worth more money or anything. At least not yet. Maybe a rock and roll people from the mind game sessions. It will be an Easter egg. I always wonder if I get mixed up if that's the rock and roll sessions or mind games. For what it's worth, Charlie says I placed my pre-order for the Super Deluxe 5 minutes after learning it existed from your video earlier today. Thanks for tipping us off. I'm glad I was able to help. That's always nice to know. Appreciate that. Hello, Harold. Hello. Um, Joe says, if people say you're crazy for buying it, then let them. I must be too because I bought it as well. Hey, I could just easily say, I have no shame or craziness in buying it. I think, you're crazy and should be shamed for not buying it. But I get it because the price is not cheap. It is not cheap. It is really too expensive. And I say it. I was willing to pay it, but I'd like to pay about half is what I really like. And I think even half the price, even like $700 or so or whatever, would be a lot. But you're getting a lot of things in it, and contrary to what a lot of people think, you're not just getting silly little trinkets only in there. Yes, you get the Newtopia plaques and the ID card, and you get some coins in there, and you get some posters and postcards and this and that. Yeah, I get all that, but you're also getting what, seven LP albums in there, and how many CDs and two big books. There's more in there than just that. And also, I personally like the cube. I like the clear plastic cube outside, and that'll be a nice piece to admire. Even when I'm not playing the contents inside, I will still be happy to just have that as a fixture to admire. I'm going to put the side. I already figured. I'm going to put the side with the Mind Games single, John Lennon with the white background. The Mind Games 45 sleeve side. We have that looking right at me. Maybe I'll put it right in my living room so I can look at it when I'm watching TV. I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it. I'm sorry that there are a lot of people who are unhappy about these things, and they're out there. A lot of unhappy people, and you can see them uh, in comments. There's a lot of comments. A lot of unhappy people. You can read them. You know. So, but if it makes you happy to not buy it, that's good. I got to be honest. I've always been the kind of guy where when I have the money, I like to splurge. Hello, Anthony. Doing good? Have you watched the Mind Games Evolution documentary? New footage of John playing mind games at Tittenhurst in '70. Yes, I just saw it. Him playing, Make Love Not War and all that. Yeah, I saw that. Hello, Joseph. Good to see you here. Hello, Ed. Yeah, I don't. As I said before, if you missed it, that would be wonderful. I would really appreciate that. But I'm not expecting it, so I went ahead and I pre-ordered one for myself. I'm not expecting it. That doesn't mean if you're listening out there, don't think to yourself, "Oh, he already pre-ordered one. We don't have to send him one. We'll save it." No, that's not the case. I would like to get it in advance because if I get it, if they send you one, they send you one in advance so you could promote it, and I would love to get it early and promote it. So I would like to get a copy sent so I could do early promotion. But as I say, just in case I'm not expecting it, and I'm not counting on it. I'm not banking on it. So therefore, I went ahead and I pre-ordered one very proudly, as I keep saying for people that are just joining me because I keep the numbers are going up for people watching here. So exactly, that's beautiful. There you go, Mike. That's it. Back in 1981, I bought a used copy, and here it is, of Let It Be on VHS for $60. This was a used copy. I was 19 years old in 1981, and I bought this from a video store, Video Shack, one of the early VHS stores, for $60 for a used copy. And it was beyond my means then as well. And you know what? I made it happen. I made it happen somehow. I found a way to get the money legally. Make sure you say that because people like to make jokes. And I got it. I'll make it happen. Uh, yeah, that was very cool. I don't think I'd ever seen that before myself, Ted. Very cool. That's what you were saying before. Yeah, exactly. 40 years on, over 44 years, really. My motto hasn't faded. I like that. I made me feel good that you remembered that and brought that up. Guess I'm in the minority. They're getting me for $29.98. I would like to see a deluxe sometime in New York City box. Me too. Hope they didn't cancel it. Well, I can't say too much, but I have a very good feeling, let me say. I'm kind of playing with words here, that we will get everything, only maybe not in the order you think. When you say is that the copy or another one, you mean this one? This is the exact video from 1981, the exact one. It's not another one. It's the one I bought in '81. Do you think this box set may conflict with your Chicago trip in any way? No, no. I'll find a way. Joe, that cube is 10 by 10, so it's not full size albums. Is that correct? Well, I heard it was 13. The cube is 13, which is a little bigger than a full size album. So, okay. So, once again, I'm going to put the link up here again. If there's anybody that I kind of know and trust who wants to talk about the John Lennon thing, yay or nay, good or bad, I'd love to talk about it. What Beatles release do you think we'll get in October or November? I'm thinking we're going to get, well, before the year is out. I don't know what it is. Before the year is out, I'm thinking we're going to get a new version of what they call the first U.S. visit with a re-enhanced and extra footage. That's what I'd heard from somebody, and I think Ringo mentioned it as well. Somebody told me Ringo mentioned it, so it's not like if Ringo hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't mention it either. But supposedly Ringo mentioned it. So the measles film, what's happening in the U.S. That's one thing I know. I haven't tried playing the videotape in a long time, but I'm pretty sure it would. Where are you going to put this box set? All right. Right now, probably nowhere in here. There's probably no room unless I could make it. Unless I clear a spot, I might clear a spot if it fits. I don't know if this is 13-inch room there, but I could put it up there, or I'll put it in the living room. I have spaces in the living room for it. But my whole thing is I don't worry so much about where I'm going to put something that I buy a collectible. What I do is I just buy now, worry about storage later. That's what I do. I expect to be moving into a bigger size place within the next couple of years. So I'm not going to, I wouldn't miss out on it now just because I don't have the place right now. 60th anniversary of A Hard Day's Night and Beatles for Sale. Okay. Alrighty then. Um, Okay, not such a huge not much revenue for such a huge release. Seems like they would release more. A restored and extended first U.S. visit. Streaming on Disney Plus, I can see it now. Hi, Beetle Jeb. I'm okay with the Lennon box. I won't be buying it. After I bought the All Things Must Pass Uber box, I promised myself I would never spend that much again on a Beatles solo reissue. It will be nice to display. Joe needs to move to California. I will never go to California. Never in a million years. Okay, after Mind Games, how about a Living in the Material World box set, please? Well, I do hear from Harrison, right? We've heard that if you've listened. I think Danny Harrison pretty much said we're going to be getting something for Living in the Material World, a kind of deluxe thing. Don't know what it's going to consist of exactly, but I've heard that. I have heard. Oh, just bear with me a minute here. I gotta fix something. Just give me a moment. Be right with you. I promise. I promise I'll be right with you. All right, fixed. Okay. Regarding the Uber sets, why do you think they have gone down that route? The music or merchandise? What's more important? Well, for me as a fan, both are important. I like both. Now, if you put a gun to my head and you ask me, you got to pick one or the other, the music or the memorabilia. I'll pick the music every time. But I don't have to pick. I don't have to pick. I get to have my cake and eat it too. Like I'm able to have both. Um, but the thing about it is, though, again, you got to remember this is an old cliche by now, but it's very true. Nobody's forcing anybody to buy the big giant set. So you can buy just the music. You can go right out there and just buy the CD by itself, or two CD set, or whatever, or the smaller vinyl set. So there you go. Yeah, the footage of John performing Mind Games is from '70. I forgot. Yeah, he was kicking around a song called "Make Love Not War." I know you've heard it before, which wound up being the tail end of the song "Mind Games." He put it on at the tail end of the Mind Games song. So, and yeah, we've also heard there's going to be a 4K restored concert for Bangladesh. We heard that there's going to be another Bangladesh release. Well, see that, for example, that's a couple of things I don't need. I have no interest in a map of Liverpool or a map of Japan. I have no interest in that. It's part of the excuse me, it's part of the collector's package. So, okay, I'll take it, but You know, you had to do it. Mind Games is your favorite solo John song at the moment. It's not my favorite John album. It's not my favorite John album, but I think this is going to be a year of all solo stuff and no Beatle box sets. Just my feeling. Yeah. Well, we'll see. What's the next McCartney Uber set? Nothing yet that I know of. Gross proceeds from the Uber set will be 1.45 million before expenses. Ringo performing at Don't Come Easy at the concert for Bangladesh is so enjoyable. I beg to differ because I think that first of all, I love Ringo's look. I love the way Ringo looks at the concert for Bangladesh. That's my favorite Ringo look. He's also looks like that in the Back Off Boogaloo video. He looks like that in Born to Boogie, right? The T Rex movie. And I love the song "It Don't Come Easy." "It Don't Come Easy" is my favorite Ringo Starr song of all. However, during the performance of "It Don't Come Easy" at Bangladesh, he flubs the words, Ringo. So that's all I meant by that. That's all I meant by that. Have I ordered the separate book? Not yet. I mean, the separate book I'll probably get. I'll just buy it in a bookstore, Barnes and Noble or something. That's what I did the other time with the Plastic Ono Band book and the Imagine book. I bought it in Barnes and Noble. I'll probably do the same. I try to buy anything I can in a store rather than not ordering it, online. I try to buy everything in a store wherever I can. So there you have it. For a minute, I thought that the official Mind Games book, the separate book, was actually part of this Uber box set, this super deluxe. Then I realized it isn't. You know. Okay, an amusing quibble fans have is the 6 CDs are advertised having 72 tracks when they really should be saying 66 tracks. Okay, I couldn't get over the price for the Lennon Mind Games. How do they expect people to afford it? I don't know. I guess they don't expect everybody to afford it, but there's different options. You can buy the CD. Is there a one CD? You can buy a one CD, a two CD, the 6 CD box, or one vinyl, two vinyl set. You don't have to buy it. I guess they just expect rich people to buy it, or in my case, somebody who's not rich but just likes to live now and spend money now, enjoy life now before we die. So that's how I live my life. Yeah, I've always been that way. And I'm happy that way, and it served me well up to now. Believe me, if anything should ever happen in my life, God forbid, where I say, I made some mistakes, folks. I shouldn't have spent the first 60 years of my life living like that. I'll let you know. And I'll have to maybe in another 20 years, 20, 25 years, I'll have to sell all this stuff to eat. Who knows? But right now, that day has not come yet. No, I don't think the book is what I'm saying. The book, there are two books in there, but I don't think either one of them is the big separate book that's available in September. It's coming out in September, I think. Uh, Hello, how you doing? Good to see you. Time for bed here in Norway. Okay, enjoy. All you need is love. Uh, don't worry, it will sell out. It'll go for double and triple afterwards. Well, this is something people often say, Chuck. If folks would stop buying at these prices, the prices will come down. Basic economics. You see, when people say that, I appreciate your opinion, Chuck, and you're not the only one who says that. A lot of people say that. Stop encouraging them. Stop buying, and then they won't do this anymore. I want them to keep doing it. I'm sorry. You have to talk to somebody else. I'm not going to miss out just because other people can't buy it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm sorry. I mean, I'm still going to, you're right about what you say. It's basic economics, but I'm not going to be without it if I want it. You know, just because if I really don't buy it, And if none of us buy it, if they have 1,100 sets, and if all of us promise, all 1,100 of us promise never to buy the box set, super duper box set, then it'll come down to like $100. Well, that ain't happening. I know what you mean, though. I do know what you mean. Hi, Dusty Spins. What's going on, Dusty? Maybe a Ringo Starr collected works box set on vinyl. Would that be interesting? I believe it would. It's not for everybody. George says, Mayo, you enjoy your collection. Exactly. And you know where I'm coming from, George. What is the value of your Beatle collection? Ballpark. You don't have to answer if it's too personal. Well, it is personal, but the truth the truth of the matter is, I don't have a clue. I really don't know how much it's worth. I'd have to get a Beatles expert, one of those people from the collector's call, to come in. But quite frankly, I don't know, and I don't think I have anything that's super duper valuable, super valuable. I really don't think I do. I was hoping this next person might show up here. I didn't want. I was putting the vibes out a little bit, and he's here. I'm lucky to have him. It's Norman Maslov, affectionately known as Mazzy. So
Heads are exploding in the Beatles world.
well, I don't know where you stand yet. I haven't heard you say anything.
The bottom line, I just made a video, but I have not ordered it. I'm not planning on order it. That could change. But I always say this every time. Like I go on the Hoffman forums, I go on the comments on your videos and everyone's videos. Heads are exploding. How can people afford this shit? But what you say, everyone has priorities, okay?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money for a piece, but I understand about limited editions. I understand artwork. There are other options. You can buy a 2 CD set. You don't get everything, but you don't get everything in any way. You go to a restaurant, you order like, a hamburger, you order a steak, you order $100 bottle of wine, or you ordered a $5 beer. There's options. And these people that are saying that, oh, Lennon, he would never allow this stuff.
Yeah, I know that.
They put out those friggin' wedding album boxes and all the shit he put out there. I mean, I have to buy that stuff, but I understand that it's not for everyone. And just because it's not for you or me or someone else doesn't mean it's not for other people. And to be honest with you, to find 1,100 people to pay $1,300 or $1,500 out the door, whatever, that's not going to be hard. It's a lot of people have jobs. Maybe it's not us. I'm retired now, but I don't have a mortgage. So technically, it's probably a lot less than most people pay a month on rent. But I don't have a mortgage anymore, so I could buy it. I don't know. At this point right now, I'm not doing it.
And there's nothing wrong with this. Plus, maybe wait. Well, first, let's see if I get it. Maybe because look, there's no big shame in it. You and I a lot of times get gifted.
I don't.
Premiere cup.
I kind of don't think they would gift us maybe the regular box. Like last time, I got the regular box and the box.
I don't expect the big thing.
So you didn't buy it, right?
I did pre-order it just in case, but I don't expect to get a free one. But and it says here only 73 left. There were 9. It was,
so maybe
it was
I need
91.
To get my laptop and push buy right now while you were on the air.
Somebody told me 91 about an hour ago. So
at least now you're going to get me to buy it.
That would be good. Let's do that live. Let's watch you live.
Should we do it live? Let me see.
Yeah, he's going to order one. This is fun.
I'm not saying I'm going to do it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you go down to 3 and then do it?
Thing is, here's how I could look at it this way. I monetize my channel. So, I don't know how, it's people don't like to know. Like, I'll be honest with you. I don't have commercials in the middle. I get between $700 and $1,200 a month for monetization on my channel.
I'm sorry, I missed that. I was reading.
I get anywhere between $750 to $1,300 a month, depending on the month.
That's nice. Woo.
And I click the button. There's no commercials in the middle of my videos. So in a month, 2 months, I could buy this thing.
Yeah, so if you look at it as gravy, I don't know if it's gravy or not in your life, but if it is like extra, then so be it.
I mean, it's one of those things. If I don't get it, I'm gonna. You know how it is. It is FOMO. There is
fear of missing out. FOMO. Right.
I've bought I've bought all the Genesis books, and those ain't cheap.
But you know that I saw when you got the Harrison crate. I saw when you displayed it, you put it in your room there. This would look good in that room too. This cube.
Of course, it'll look good.
You know what I mean? And I think this is this the most expensive box set ever. I mean, for me, it's the most expensive one I ever heard of.
There
But
have
maybe
been a non-Beatles stuff. You know, I did well. I got the McCartney stuff. I got the Uber box. But the thing is, I had a friend that worked at Universal, so I used to get. She's not there anymore, but I used to get 30% off Universal stuff. So, but she's not there anymore. So I got the Uber box.
oh, wait a minute, it's coming back. I don't know what happened there, but you're back, right?
Anyway,
Okay, I don't know what happened there. All right. But I do want to say there's one thing I wanted to pop on here. Would you? The price is right if folks pay. Would you pay for 5K new? Now you're going to think I'm just saying this, but I could safely say no.
would I pay 5,000? No.
No. So there are limits to it. I mean, for me anyway. And I mean, and believe me, Chuck, when I tell you 1,300 or something, and we won't talk about the shipping cost and the tax on top of 1,350. The thing is, that's just about that's over the limit. My limit really now by you know, but yeah, I did it this time. But no, 5,000. No.
Let me
Come
see.
on, folks. It's the price of a new refrigerator. uh,
They need a security code. Excuse me here. So.
okay. Dave, you got to like get off for a moment. Who's to say that 1,100 will be the total of copies? Everything else was supposed to be limited, and they released more anyway.
I think in something like this, it would be too expensive them to recreate these. It's one thing when you do a vinyl album like a Rhino handmade or those kind of things where you can press. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. I still think Paul's 45 RPM box collection was a good value at the price, even for the casual. I
Did
think
you
so
buy
too.
that?
I bought that.
I bought those are go for $2,000 now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? I got to sell mine. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I don't know if they're going. They're asking $2,000.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They're asking that.
Yeah, but you definitely can get your money.
But you know, again, there were 80. I think there were 80 45s in there, and you got to do the math in a case like that. You know, what do they? What do they go for? Like at least $7, $8 is 45 these days. $7. You know, so it was worth it. I thought.
Let's
Sold
see.
out.
I'm not saying if I bought it or not.
Oh no! Do you know how many copies of the Uber set for George were made? I don't really know.
Well, you can get that. You could get that cheap for a long time. No, there were more. Weren't there like 3,000? Is that right? I think. I think the price. I mean, the quantity 1,100 is appropriate for something limited like this. You know, like I remember when I bought in 1980 or 81, the very first Genesis book, rock and roll book, I Me Mine, was like $300. In 1980, I paid $300 for that book. That was a shitload of money then. Excuse me.
Yeah,
you know, that was
and I didn't get it at the time.
Yeah, and it's signed, and now that goes for a couple grand. You know, you can't get that type of thing. So,
and Richard James, I did pre-order it. Yes.
What is? Yeah. So, I can't read the comments on the way I have my setup here. Are they people freaking out still?
No, you mean here right now? No, not really. I'll put up stuff. I haven't been getting a lot of freak out comments, and now I probably invited them, but I don't know. I'm getting better comments than I thought I would get about this. And that's another thing. Oh yeah, I got to figure out how to do that. Oh, forgot about that. You can write these things off as part of your expenses, business expenses.
To be honest with you, Chuck, you're absolutely right. I've been self-employed for 36 years, and when I started the YouTube thing, and even before that, I worked with record companies a lot with my photographers. So all my records, historically, I write a percentage off. And now, when we have YouTube channels, anything we buy record-wise, if we itemize our taxes, we can write them off. So it's going to go against tax liability. Not that I'm making as much to pay taxes now, really, because I'm retired, I get Social Security. But we can do that. It's right. I mean, there's always ways, Chuck and everyone else, Mayo and I are going to justify this until the end of
one way in our mind.
lifetimes.
And I'm going to tell you, it's an old cliche, but you only live once. Now, I know if it was a choice between food to survive or this, I picked food to survive. But I'm not to that point. My friend
There's
Danny.
people like tonight in Seattle, the Rolling Stones are playing. And I know a guy and his wife are going. 2 tickets are $1,500 to see one night the Rolling Stones.
Well, there you go.
And then it's over. And
you don't have it to look at. I did not buy the Egypt Station suitcase. I passed on that. That's one thing I did not buy. How about you? To forget, did you buy that suitcase, Egypt Station?
I do have a suitcase.
Yeah.
That is somewhat. That's probably the most. I think that's more ridiculous than the mind games.
I do. I think it is. There's no music in that at all. I mean, right? Or is there?
Yes, there is.
CD, vinyl as well.
The suitcase. Yeah, you have the albums, don't you? I forget. I forget.
Never got it. I personally think the box set is filled with a lot of filler. Well, yeah, but a lot of people keep forgetting. Like I said earlier, it's not just about coins and maps and Newtopia stickers and things. It's also about the books and the vinyl and the CDs and the Blu-rays. There's other stuff besides trinkets.
The one thing I do understand, there's a majority of people who are music fans, and I always talk about is some music stupid stuff, but I do appreciate artwork and art books. And a lot of people say, I don't need the books, throw away the books, just give me the music. And that is totally a fair assessment. You can also download something. You can always you could stream this stuff. You don't need any of the physical format.
Right. Rather take another England trip, so going for the regular deluxe at over $13.50. Or two. You rather take it. You prefer 2 going for the regular deluxe set, right? One thing is for sure: the price of that box is only going to do one thing: go up. Well, I hope so, but I'm not buying it for that reason. A lot of people think, "Oh, it's a good investment. Buy it. It's a good investment." I'm not buying it to resell, but one day, if I have to, 20 years from now or something.
As I recall, when I did my Uber video, my Uber box set video, it's one of my top 10 most watched videos. And of course, I do things in a snarky way. I remember I had one of those furniture pallets with wheels on it with a carpet you move like couches on and stuff. And I had someone tape me pushing the big box into the garage in slow motion because it was so massive and down the hall. And part of it is that enjoyment too, You're going to get yours before me because you guys on the East Coast get the stuff before the West Coast.
Oh, well, you can't talk about this album or anything related to this album without somebody making the traditional Utopia national anthem joke. Somebody else already beat you to it, Matthew, I think.
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I've just rushed too much. Can you imagine the price of a future archives collection? London Town, Back to the Egg box set. I wish they do those.
The only thing I don't like, I guess, and I think I mentioned this video that I'm uploading now, is, Harrison did the Uber, and I know that I read somewhere that Sean was really interested, loved what Harrison did.
Danny did for better or worse.
Yeah, but they're going to next, then who's going to go next? Are they going to keep going like this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know the most expensive one. There's an avant-garde band in San Francisco called The Residents that started in the 1970s with the big eyeballs on their head, conceptual art. About 10 years ago, you can watch it on YouTube. They made 10, they call it box sets, but what they are, they're refrigerators. You actually get a full refrigerator with all their records, all their CDs, one of the big eyeballs. Each one is $100,000, and there's 10 of them only. I don't even know if they ever sold them all, but the MoMA in New York bought one, and there's a video on YouTube of the MoMA going through with their white gloves, taking out. So Google The Residents refrigerator box set, and that's $100,000, which is not really a box set, but it's hysterical.
All I'm going to say, Tim, is I know what you're referring to, and I didn't think it was funny this time. That's about all I could say. You know.
Let's see.
But I miss you. I want John Lennon box. Buy 10 now. No, thank you. I know what you're kidding
Now, did you
around.
see the funniest thing when you look in the advert or on the website for the super deluxe at $13.50? It says limit to 4 per person.
Oh, I didn't see that. Really, 4 per person. Come
I
on, it
bet
should
you
be.
there's. I bet you some people ordered 4.
Well, yeah.
People with money, there's people who gamble. There's people who have money that invest. You go to these big record shows, and I went to this record show in Austin. People were paying $2,000 for one rare record, and $1,500. So there are a lot of people who have that kind of cash stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not one of them, even though I
No,
sometimes spend like I am, but I'm not. But to those people, I guess you're lucky. Good for you. You could buy 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, my McCartney suitcase is collecting dust.
Mine's not because it's in the box still. It's a shipping box. I don't have room for that one.
Was Utopia done as an April Fool's joke? I'm kind of like lost on that. What we're talking about there. I'm trying to think like what exactly that could possibly mean.
Could you put that into words which even Caesar could understand?
I did go this past weekend to see the new Planet of the Apes movie, and I really.
And I still didn't go. Don't tell me too much about it.
I won't. I won't say anything. I enjoyed it. It's not. I don't know if it's not my favorite of the series, but I still enjoyed it.
So far, I've been reading. I'm not getting spoilers, but I've been reading. Most of the people say it. I think they place it the 4th out of the new series. They liked it, but they still have been ranking it the lowest of the new 4 ones, or
Yeah,
maybe next to the lowest.
that could be. I think we also like Caesar as a character. The new character, main guy, is good, but not as charismatic, I guess, or something.
Yeah, he just plays another guy, right? He's another character entirely.
It's a different actor and everything.
Yeah.
It's 300 years later. That's what. Yeah.
I don't know. I have no way of knowing. I don't know what I think.
No, somebody said. Didn't someone say there's 90 left or something?
Well, there were, but now there's 72.
Okay, well, 72 out of 1,100 is going to sell out probably by tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking too. Based on what's listed there, there's not it's not every not every alternate take, or what do you call it, like a demo. I mean, I don't know if they're going to have demos like Make Love Not War and stuff like that. I don't know. So would that eat 2 months of content materials? I'm like I got to read carefully. What, $700 to $1,200 YouTube revenue? Yeah, I figure you do have to consider how much gets put back into purchases for content for more profit.
But people always forget, like if you saw the video, people who watch the video, the designers, the photo editors, the photo licensing, the retouchers, the printers, the mastering engineers, the cutting engineers, the packaging, the shipping, the wholesaling, or to Universal, their cut. They're not making a ton of profit on this kind of thing. And look at all the people that are employed making it. Look at that. There is something to that.
I noticed a bunch of people have been saying kind of that this particular album wasn't that great to justify the price and everything. Like, why this for Mind Games? Well, that's only because that's the timing of when Sean got inspired to do the a big box, because he saw the Uber Harrison set and wanted to do it. But by that time, Plastic Ono Band and Imagine had already been released.
And they weren't going to do it with Sometime in New York City.
No. But I still want it. But
I do too.
I think it's going to come. Not maybe last, but I have a feeling. Buy what makes you happy if you can't afford it. I've said this before, maybe to you in the comments. Technically, I cannot afford it, but I'll find a way. So, yeah, and I agree with you. We only have a short time here. Might as well enjoy every second. Not everybody has that philosophy. They figure, I can't afford it, and that's it. Well, Maybe, I don't know. To each his own, as they say. I think I'll be happy with the 2 LP version. To be honest, well, I, sometimes I think people rationalize that. I don't want to. I don't want to sound like nasty by saying that, but if you can be happy with that, fine. Maybe that's all you need for
I
yourself. But
think
I
the
think a lot of
best
people convince
versions,
themselves.
even though I'm a vinyl guy a lot, I like CDs. The best versions of the Lennon sets are the 10-inch square boxes with the Blu-rays and the CDs and the elemental mixes in the book. They're all the same. They're not like that stupid stuff they do with the Beatles, that they're all different sizes and formats. I think that it's $167, so that's not cheap. Those will be around for all. They'll probably go down at some point. I think that if you like this record, and the record never sounded good until the 2002 CD, and that's the only place you can get it remixed, and it's never been put out on vinyl as a good mix ever until I guess now. So you really got to doing the whole juggling thing, finding out how many are left. So are you gonna stay on here, Joe, until it goes down to zero? Till it's sold out? It's pretty funny. I can't hear you. You're muted. I see your microphone is muted.
I don't know what I last said, but
There you
anyway.
So
Yeah,
do you know anyone else who's bought it?
I know one person, 2 people I know who bought it. Yeah, at the moment. I don't want to reveal who unless they want to reveal.
Yeah, it's not
Do I
for us
know
to.
3 people now, Mazzy? Do I know 3 people? Or you don't? I'm not. You're not.
I don't know anyone yet aside from you,
What about
but I
yourself?
haven't asked.
I want to see if I know a third person now. Have you ordered it?
I don't know.
It's going to be a mystery. Let's see. Yeah, the new Apes movie. Yeah, yep. Exactly. I still haven't gone through my All Things Must Pass Uber crate yet. When I want to see all the items inside, I just watch Joe's unboxing video. Me too. If I want to see it. See, that's the thing too. It gets me being anal about these things. You were saying, and I agree. I like that the Lennon stuff's all the same size, very uniform. But the problem is, like, if I have the box, I'm saying, I feel like playing the CD today, or something. You gotta take the plastic box out, go through all that
You're
to
gonna
get
get
to it.
the small CD version.
I probably will. Because it's easier. Put them right on the. I can't point to it. The shelves. I'm just. I'd rather do that, and I don't know. It's easier because you're not going to go through it. Plus, have you seen the video where they show you the contents inside and how they're stacked? All those
Yeah.
things, and it's like a puzzle in itself. They fit together a certain way. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
It's
If I
going to
got
be
to go
like a Rubik having a
Rubik,
Rubik's
yeah,
cube or something.
Rubik's cube.
I'm amused about this kind of stuff. Some people get really angry, and I just like, why get
Yeah,
angry?
I know. And some of it's at look. I don't want to paint with a broad brush. Oh, if you're angry about the price or if you're criticizing, you're just jealous. That's not true for everybody. Some are that they know they damn well they want it, but they can't get it. If it was like $75 or $100, they'd get it. Who are they kidding? But other people just really don't have any use for it. I'm sure, legitimately.
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, think of, luxury items, whatever. When we say luxury, people think of jewelry and, expensive clothes and shit like that. Look at cars. You can get cars aren't cheap. No cars are cheap now. But if you're going to buy an Audi or a Mercedes, it's going to be a lot more than getting a Toyota. And a Toyota probably is going to be a better buy for most people. And so you don't have to. You can enjoy it just as much. Again, you can enjoy this music you don't have to pay anything. You could stream, enjoy most of this music. It's going to be, it's going to be streaming. You'll be able to stream this stuff, music.
Yeah, this comes in maybe number 4 in my John Lennon favorites solo albums, Mind Games.
Yeah, I like Walls and Bridges over it.
Me too.
Yeah. But I like this better. I like Mind Games better than Rock and Roll.
No, yeah, so do I.
It might be my fourth favorite. Well, I like Double Fantasy. I like the Yoko stuff on Double Fantasy.
Me too. I think she's got good stuff on there. I think it's the best stuff she's ever had. I mean, I like some of her own stuff too.
Yeah.
But A Season of Glass, Fly.
Yeah.
Those are two of my favorites. Approximately Infinite Universe. Believe it, I've never heard the whole thing, but I hear good things about that.
I want to see if I can. I might have to switch over to my laptop here. Let me. Hold on a second.
Well, hi Astros, Jer. But you say this is great news, but as Joe knows, this will bring out hate to Yoko about the prices. Well, I don't think Yoko has much to do
Nothing to do with Yoko
about
Ono.
that.
If
She's
you,
not
yeah.
in good shape. She's not really doing well. It's probably the record companies and maybe Sean more than Yoko. If it probably has nothing to do with them, but I'm saying Yoko is probably completely out of the picture right now.
Can you post your link again? I have to get off this iPad and get on my laptop.
Yeah, let me do that.
I'll be back.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to get that link up there. Bing. Badoom. All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is true. And yeah, the 2002 mix of Mind Games is indeed an incredible mix. I agree with you. Gave a new appreciation. There's Mazzy. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
The thing is, Yoko, Sean, any of these people don't come up with the price. They look at the production costs. They look at everything else. They see what went into it, and the labels come up with a price based on the cost of the project. We have a friend, a YouTube guy. His name is Arnaldo, and he does. He has a channel of Fidelio's Frequency, and he works for BMG. And I won't get into details, but he works with the financial stuff, and he sees what things cost. So it's based on what the production costs. Now, do some people add price? Like, could Taylor Swift cut her records by $10 because she sells so much? Sure. To me, that's a little more obscene that her records are $40 and $50 when they're selling more records than anyone else. You could dump on that more.
So I know what he's saying. We know that she does not have anything to say, but the vultures will be out for her anyway, which is sad. That's what I meant. And I'm like, yeah, but so far, Astros, I have not heard any in my comments. I haven't heard one Yoko thing yet. By the way, speaking of Yoko, now everybody knows I defend Yoko here. I'm a Yoko supporter here. But the thing is, am I wrong about this? I don't remember her having that much to do with Mind Games. As something to do with it, but not as much.
Really.
So it's got a lot of Yoko involvement in stuff that they're offering. But they did John and Yoko together announce in a press conference Newtopia. That whole thing was a John and Yoko thing, if not the whole record itself. Well, unless I'm wrong about this, but I don't remember her being that involved with the record. So I know when they do Walls and Bridges, Yoko doesn't have any involvement with the original record.
Yeah.
I ordered the ultimate version today. Yep.
Let's see here. So what's the countdown?
It was 68 last I heard. We gotta get down to one by the time I get off here.
And they're numbered. I assume they're numbered, right? Does it say
yes.
numbered?
Okay. Oh, gee, it better be for that kind of money. Better be
right.
better be numbered.
And whoever gets number 9,
Yeah, I was thinking we don't have stuff like this. Like there's no "I'm the Greatest" listed on there, which is was a surprise.
You have to buy the EP.
I wonder if that's the deal.
But maybe if you're a good boy, Joe, and if you and I are good boys, and we don't bash anyone, we might get the regular editions so we can play those.
Hmm. One never knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this before. I used one of these on one of my FaB GaBs. I did one where it's like a subject that today it's all about McCartney taking over John Lennon. It's all that's a real sore point with me. It's all about
66
Paul.
left.
You know. So I use that thumbnail with John this big and Paul in the mountain. So yeah, well, I'm sure that's the main thing. Astros Jerry, after all is said and done. Uh, all of this is a gift for the fans, really. I actually do not think it is so much about money making. Neither do I, really. You know, they're not. They got tons of money
Yeah, they don't
already.
make that much on these things. The profit is with all the stuff that they do, all the marketing, they have to create those videos. You know how much those cost to make? I mean, it's all animated, a lot of it, CG stuff. It's not
Yeah.
cheap.
Listen, everybody listening right now, this is the time to do it. Go over right now to the John Lennon store and order your copy of the Super Deluxe Edition of Mind Games. I want to see if I have any influence in people buying it and going down. I don't think
And
so.
Mayo's the code on the back of Mayo's credit card is 236. Just so if you need the.
uh, yeah, I don't have a credit card at the moment. I used to.
I'm just.
No, I know. I got to get one though. Where are people getting these figures? I'm on the John Lennon site and don't see anywhere
You have
whatever number of
it's
copies.
nerdy people do. What happens is you go in and you add to your cart, and at some point you only can add so many to your cart. It's a weird thing that like KRWB has the time to do this. You go in, then you delete your cart, and if you can't, that's one under that amount. Get it? So
If the super duper box was half the price, I would have ordered it. Yeah, that's, half is better than full. I go along with you, but yeah,
I should get one just because I have this friggin' photograph over my shoulder half the time.
yeah, right. You have to justify that having that up there. It's funny because this totally had left my mind, and when you said this, then I remembered it. I remember John discussing that a little bit about the cover. They really should have included a photo of Frida people.
That's true. In Europe, there's some in Europe, so there'll be copies in Europe and Canada. In Canada, it's like $1,800 or something equivalent.
Mm-hmm. Joe, you probably going to sell 8 or 9 by people in this peanut gallery. You should probably get one comp to you. Well, I wouldn't mind that. Hello, James. Hello. Ah, no one has said the words cash grab yet. Well, I heard that once in the comments under my video, but like I always say, this is my opinion. I used to argue and say it's not a cash grab with something, but now I say, the more I think of it, it is. Well, this is. We just got done talking. They didn't want to do it for the money, really. But if it is a cash grab, it's just a business. That's business. People are looking to put product out there to entice you to buy. That's nothing new. If you want to call that a cash grab, they do it. They've been
All
doing
over
it.
the Hoffman forums, there are a bunch of people are saying cash grab and cash.
Oh, so sick of
The
that.
thing is, a record company's job, whether you like it or not, is to sell as many copies and sell as much music for the artists that they have signed. That's literally their job. Whatever you work. If anybody here is in manufacturing, or sales, your job is to sell products. That's what capitalism
That's what
is
you do.
about. So if they sell and make more money for Lennon, now you go to someone like the Lennon estate, Universal is not getting rich over John Harrison's not with Universal anymore. He went to BMG, but they're not getting rich off those. They're making off the Beatles. Plus, it's like a legacy thing to have the Beatles on your label looks good to get other new artists because they say, oh, you got the Beatles. I want to be on your label. They're not selling as much. I mean, maybe, now and then sold and then it kind of fizzled after a while and that stuff, but it's their job to sell records.
Should we expect an Uber Mind Game unboxing before the Secret of the Incas review? Yes, I think, Wes, that's a good bet. I mean, I got the Secret of the Incas right on there. I mean, I'm retired. How long does it take me to put a darn movie on there and watch the thing? You're right. You've been
What is
asking me to
Secret
review
of
that.
the Incas? I don't even know what that is.
It's a movie with Charlton Heston from I think it's from
Oh,
the early '60s, maybe 1960 or something. And supposedly it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark before there was a Raiders of the Lost Ark.
got it.
How many people bought many boxes to flip after it sells out? I hate that. You know, I don't know. In a case like this, if you have enough money to buy multiple copies to flip, you don't need to flip flip anything to make money. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, sure. When I play this album, I imagine the pictures of John on his knees begging Yoko to take him back. I see you, Miss N. Uh, the Mind Games. Oh, the Cube Game.
What
Mind
is
Games
that?
Cube Game. I'm lost.
I didn't even look in the store for all the extra crap.
Big Macs and cans of Dr. Pepper are cash grabs. Well, people have different, a different definition of a cash grab. I always say, well, people put product out there and try to sell stuff and make money and keep the business going. And they say, no, cash grab means something more specific. It means stuff that there's really almost no reason for, but they just keep milking something like that. It's different. So I say, well, I'm okay with cash grabs if they are cash grabs. I'm trying to be objective too about it. I don't know if although I'm getting it, I don't know if it's a great value. I don't think it has to be that high priced. Honestly, I don't. I think it's too high, but I'm not the one putting the effort in it. At least with the George Harrison Uber box, you got one of those wooden crates that this is just getting the plastic thing. I don't know. Hello, Jim. Kind of surprised there wasn't a half-speed master for this. Well, maybe they will do that series eventually, and then people can say it's a cash grab. Now they're putting out a half-speed master cash grab. Uh, yeah, I do like "There Will Be No Sorrow" and "Let It Be." Do you?
I don't really care.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Those nitpicking things, I don't go there. I don't
Yeah, it
care.
goes. I mean, it's fine either way. But I think it's when I watch the "Let It Be" movie and that line is in there as a change. I like it. Change of pace. There's a cool at the store, cool men's long sleeve Mind Game shirt.
I didn't even look at the shirts, no stuff.
How come May Pang didn't teach John how to pronounce it? I always say it the way it's spelled and the way he says it in the song, so I don't know how to say it either. I Sumisin. I don't know. Good enough for me. Okay, Mayo and Maslov. Hey, that's a great Maslov and Mayo. Either way, it's a good name for a show. Are the only two?
Where did we meet? Which place did we meet?
Oh, did you come to the record store? Are you the one who came to the record store one time? I met you in there.
Did we meet at the New York show or Austin? Where did we meet?
I know somebody from Iceland once came to my record store to say hello. Let's see. Personally, I'm only interested in the music. It's about the music, stupid.
I don't disagree with that. You can't disagree with that. That's
Yeah.
That's the stuff you should be interested in.
Well, the thing with me is that, again, like I've said, if somebody put a knife to my throat or something, said you got to pick the music or the gimmicks, I'll pick the music, but I don't have to choose.
Andrew Dixon's here. Do you want to come up, Andrew? I don't know if
you're welcome to come up if you like, Andrew. And I'll just put a link just in case. But
I know it's late in the UK.
That's true. It is late. He might have his PJs on.
What else do you have to do? This is Beatle talk.
Now, what was he saying though? If you could only have one of the Elements Evolution or Raw studio mixes, which would you choose? I like outtakes. I like studio outtakes.
I like the raw studio mixes, I think.
And I tell you, right now, I'm trying to think the difference between the Elements. Is that like the stripped down? Is Elements Evolution? Well,
the Elements isn't the Evolution I love where it starts stripped and you hear the song going through all it's like a faked version of the album, going from raw to produce, or somewhat produced to produced to with the overdubs and stuff. And he can't join tonight. Okay, Andrew.
Okay, Andrew, anytime. Um, um, yeah, I'm a sucker for studio outtakes. Basically I like different vocals when you're gonna do another vocal take of something. That's what I usually like. Yeah, I make my own box with the materials. I think some of the ones that are out there, some of the CD boxes and so forth, might be different, have different stuff on there. There you go.
Right. Okay. Yeah, the New York show. Right.
I've never been to one of those, and it's what those and how big those shows are. I've never been to one. FMU.
It's in Manhattan this year. I think it's November 1st and 2nd.
But the show you went to recently is the biggest, isn't that the
Austin,
biggest?
it's the biggest in the country, in America. Yeah, I never went to there's one in Den Bosch and near Amsterdam. That's supposed to be the biggest in the world. I have no interest in going to that. I wouldn't go for, the best part of it. I think like going to Beatle Fest now. I like meeting all the people, and I met friends from YouTube and off YouTube, and that was the best part. 4 of us like shared an Airbnb, so it was fairly reasonable,
Mm. Well, Mike, now that you mention this, I want to say the word duh. Like it's obvious. I should have thought of that. The Evolution will have demos. Okay, a cash grab is a way to make a buck without a need or a want on the part of the customer or victim in this case. Victim. You're the victim. If you have a problem,
aren't victims here because we're not forcing anyone,
No, you're not forcing anybody. You have a choice. And I'm happy. And I assume Mazzy's going to be happy if he gets it, whatever. And it's like, it's the people out there that are the ones that are soreheads and miserable and angry. And, I don't get that. I still don't get it. How other people are spending their money. I never understood
I get
that.
more people angry lately because over the last couple of years, and during Record Store Day, I got about 25 free Record Store Day records, mostly jazz stuff and a few others. And people were like a handful, not a large number, were saying, I'm on the grift. Someone even did one of those parody bullshit videos of Mazzy's getting paid by the labels. No one pays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Promo records. I mean, if you go to a used record store, you see tons of records with promo stickers. Record store clerks, DJs, reviewers, promo things have always been a thing. And we're people like Joe and I do these videos, make these videos, and it sounds like we're self-serving when we say we're influencer. We're showcasing these records so they understand that we have audiences who watch us showcase it. Now, if we really hate something, Joe and I know he's the same way. I have no problem in saying I don't like this,
Right.
So that's
like I got done saying, like, for example, I think the price is outrageous. I think it's too high. And then again, I always repeat this from every chance I get, just in case people say it, because they have, about, oh, Sean Lennon, you had a little contact with Sean, so now you're shilling for Sean. You're afraid to disagree with him or say anything bad. Remember, when I did talk to him briefly for a few emails, what he liked about my "Give Me Some Truth" review was that I wasn't afraid to criticize here and there, and I said I didn't like him taking the brass out of Steel and Glass on that, and he talked to me about it in the email. And also, I told him I was never that big on whatever gets you through the night and everything, but this particular version, I like what he did, where he brought John's voice up a little bit. So my point is, he encouraged me. He said, I like that you do that.
Was it on the "Give Me Some Truth"? Wasn't it Attica that was on there from New York? I think.
No, Angela was on
Angela.
there.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I knew it was an A, right?
Yeah,
but the mix sounded really good.
It sounded great, Mazzy. It really did.
Yeah, better than that's why I had hope for that record.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best album to strip back, because I never liked Elephant's Memory, and I think they're kind of bloated, and I didn't like that sound of that record. But
I don't mind them on the record. I always say I didn't like the live stuff, but I like the record. for whatever. It's just different to me, a little grungier or something.
Yeah.
Simple. I don't know.
And again, when people say, "Oh, they're screwing with these," even though I'm really not a fan of most of the Giles Martin's remixes, but we still have the regular records. The thing I don't like is that they don't put an easy identifiable thing on the Beatles remixes. So if someone late, like in 5 years from now, or you take it out of the bin, you don't know this is the remix. I think it should be some kind of change cover like they did with Pink Floyd Animals, where something where you immediately know this is the remix version and not the original.
And anytime we talk about Giles Martin, I say I have a reputation, if people watch me, for, again, not being afraid to say what I don't like about a lot of his mixes. I say I'm 50-50 with Giles. Some of it I like, some of it I do not like that he's done. I take it song by song or album by album, but I did like, for the most part, very much the Red Album. What he did
Right.
with most of the things on there,
Yeah,
I say,
it
hey,
was okay. It
that
was
was good.
okay.
But
Let's see here.
Whoa, you really think so? I know a lot of people say I don't like horns, but I do. And said I love that he took it out of steel and glass. Huge improvement. Well, I don't want to say too much about it, but because what he told me, but I just hope that when Walls and Bridges comes out, it's left alone. Because it's one thing to have an alternate kind of mix thing on Give Me Some Truth, but on the actual Walls and Bridges album, I'd like it to be, the way it should, original. The high prices certainly exclude fans who don't have a high enough income to afford. Yeah, well, I don't. But yeah, but obviously they're not. They're only making 1,100 copies. So that they're not expecting that many people to buy, I guess. Yeah, well, even the six. Another thing we always said, when I say we, people that do this with me, like Andy and Tom from Two Legs, and other people, we say, for the most part, the Lennons have given you good value for the money on theirs. Oh, this guy's calling me back. I'm sorry. Uh, give you a good value for the money, but we've always felt that compared to, say, the McCartney archives or something. But isn't this one, the sixth? Isn't that a little much higher than it usually is? 167.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I hate to say it, I don't remember. It's 167 or 168 now. It's going to be. If you wait, it'll be cheaper. All those go down. So it might go down to 150, 120 at some point, because they make a lot of those, and those don't sell out. I don't think any of them are sold out. And every once in a while, like for instance, Universal Music around the holidays, 2 or 3 times a year, Universal Music has a 20% or 30% sale. So maybe that deluxe set, not right away, maybe 6 months to a year, will be cheaper. I don't know. I think the problem is a lot of the Beatle fans like this are either younger or older, and they're on fixed incomes and everything. And not everyone's in the same situation. But people who are working regularly and have decent jobs, to pay $160 for an item like that. I don't know, if you're buying stuff every week and 2 or 3 every week, you're not going to be able to do it. I don't know. If you're buying 1 record a month or 2 records a year, let's say we have 4 to 6 Beatle projects a year. Can you balance it out? Not to buy the $1,300 one. Can you if you're only a Beatle fan, can you buy 6 things a year? I don't know the answer to that. And everyone's different. What are your expenses? I understand it's not equal and it's not right for everybody,
Depends what else you're buying too, besides Beatles product.
Yeah, if you have
Right.
other hobbies, or if you're just barely afford,
Yeah.
gassing up your car and paying your bills, I get it. And
Yeah.
it's.
Well, Art says a cash grab is an instinct reaction to grab and buy something and finding out later they have no use for it. I don't know about you, but I done that with stuff that's not just a cash grab or a reissue or a rehash. I mean, I've bought many things. In other words, I don't agree with that, your definition of it. You know.
I mean, look at, people are giving to and I'm not going to get into the details. I know you don't like this, but people are given to political figures or religious things, or donating money they don't have to those kind of things, and they seem to find money to donate to charities and to churches and to politicians on either side, and they find to do it. And a lot of people who don't have it to give, and they do it. So this is, at least you're buying something. You get something out of, maybe.
Mystery guest, not this show. Unless you have something you want to say something about this. Mystery
guest. Who are you talking
to? You'll recognize him soon enough. He usually has a good number for the end of the show.
Melody.
But was Meat City released on the B-side of my single? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And it's a little different. That part, I forget what it says. One of them says, check the album. That little bit of gibberish that's backwards. When you play it, it says, I think one of them says, check the album. And then the album version with the gibberish says something else. And I keep forgetting what it is. Let's see. I don't want to. This is going to be a good FaB. I'm gonna make this a FaB GaB show. I think episode.
I mean, people to me, people who collect people collect Funko Pops.
Yeah,
that's
not my thing.
No, I have actually 2 that were given to me.
I have 2. I have 3. I think.
Sorry. Oh. So you do what you want.
To me, Funko Pops, they look the same. I have one of the John Lennon ones. They made like 3 of John Lennon ones.
I have one too.
I have the one with the beret on it, and it looks more like John. And everybody else, all the other things look the same. And then I have a Paulie Walnuts from. Oh, wait a minute! Now, easy, because I'll let you go so fast. This is going to be a really nice thing. But what do you have for us on the subject here of the Lennon box?
The first thing I got to say about it is that not so much that I think it's a cash grab. I think of it as like it's something to create what they call FOMO. Are you familiar with FOMO?
Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out. And you know what? Like the haves and the have-nots are really going to feel divided on this when they see their friend have it. And where does it lead from here? Like anytime a new anniversary comes out, it's going to be the new norm, these big, gigantic boxes, like that you're going to be shelling. And by the time the next one comes out, it might be $2,000 because of inflation or whatever. So I just see, where is this going? George started something. Now John's estate wants to emulate it. It might happen with the next Paul McCartney release, and then other bands might jump on that band.
Other bands are already doing this stuff. Other bands,
that
Black Sabbath is doing it, and Kiss is doing it, and
that's the Kings. Kiss were the ones that started it.
Look at signature guitars, how big those are.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's for a purpose. Is usually guitar players.
But a lot of people will get a guitar and don't hardly play it, hang it up on their walls.
Yeah.
These aren't touring musicians buying these guitars.
I wanted to interject this now. The thing is, if I understand right, I always forget what it is. If you play the Meat City B-side on the single and there's a backwards gibberish there, you play it forward. It says check the album, I think, or something like that. And then you play the album of the song and play it backwards in Meat City, and it says F a pig or something like that. Or the pigs,
it's
maybe.
Up for debate a little bit, because it's not like super clear.
Hey, KRW, we haven't got an update lately. Where are we?
Okay. Oh yeah, we need up. How many copies are left?
KRWB is it?
Mello's got to order his yet.
Yeah, not this round.
I don't think so.
Maybe if I sell a bunch of stuff. Do I really need it though? Well, first off, they have not shown the actual individual pieces. I want to see the wheel hologram album, what that looks like. I want to see what the colored vinyl is going to look like. What are these art pieces that they're talking about? Everything's very descriptive. Well, until I actually see more.
Yeah. Need is not a word you should use with these things.
I agree. Right. Food and water and shelter.
This isn't a bottle, like a jug of water or something.
Yeah, right.
But the Lennon, I've seen, it's been years. I have art books of Yoko, and I've seen the 1966 art piece. Right. And this is I've seen what that looks like. I forget exactly, but I've seen that stuff. So we don't need any of this shit.
Sure, would I like to have it? Absolutely. I just couldn't afford something, And believe me, I'm not saying it's not worth it. You do get a big bang for your buck. I mean, there is a lot of stuff in there.
trim your beard and sell the fur to someone to pay for.
Yeah, authentic melody hair.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you never know.
But
Yeah,
you know what? Honestly, go ahead, Joe.
I think one day at a time. I mean, a lot of people don't like it, but I like it. I like it. I enjoy it, even though it's they don't like John's falsetto on it or whatever he's singing in. I like it.
You know, the thing I see about also with the box sets these big, it's like not only do you have the box, which takes up a considerable amount, you got to figure where you're going to store this. Then all the items inside, you're going to keep them in the box or you're going to display them. That's going to take more room out, like where you only have so much wall space, so much shelf space. Like, how are you going to manage like that when you have a big collection like this? And especially if the next group comes out and you want that one too, you're going to have just the corner.
Yeah,
of the wall.
Well, that's a floor item or something to me, or something inside them. It's a floor item, or don't set that beard on fire.
No, I won't set that beard on fire. I have at times accidentally. It has happened, but that's me leaning over a candle or something.
And Elton John does a version of "One Day at a Time." True, I haven't heard that in a long time. I don't even remember how it goes.
I say go watch Still Standing. Ellen John doing Still Standing. It's so funny.
No, off topic.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
This is going to be this is a series. This is not like a general hangout kind of thing. This one. In fact, I might make it a FaB GaB episode, which I wasn't thinking of doing that originally. I haven't done one of those in a while, but
I wonder when they were going through this whole process. What made them ultimately finally decide on these particular individual pieces? Because you see they got 350-page book just on this subject. So there had to have been massive pieces that they were kind of combing through, looking at all the different pictures and what they decide. I mean, obviously the songs, that they're focusing on that. But
well, it's a good question when you think of, because usually when they do these, the things that are included, whether people think it's silly or not, the gnomes in the the Harrison one, that's the cover. In fact, I have a signed picture by Barry Feinstein. He's dead now.
Oh, Mazzy on the move.
Yeah, it's a little mellow.
I have a signed copy, number 12 out of 20, a photograph by Barry Feinstein of the cover here.
Oh, that's
I bought it years ago for like $500. He's dead now. It's worth a lot more probably, but I collect photography, so
10 times that.
But those gnomes are right there, so it kind of, in a weird way, makes sense to include them.
Wow. That is a wow.
Yeah, I like you. I think I don't mind people. I'm self-deprecating. You can mock the hell out of me in this stuff, and I have a sense of humor about it. It's the people that get so uptight about this stuff that drives me crazy.
You know how many times I get called gnome? Are you kidding me?
See, there you go.
And I like the gnome. People make fun of the gnomes.
Now, that
I like
would be an opening. If you could make a faux copy of the Uber box, cut out the bottom, I open it up, and you pop out.
Yeah, right.
That's the video.
Well, I mean, I do like them in the box set, those gnome things, And I know Kit O'Toole wants to get them really bad, but she hopes to get them someday. I'd hate to be the person who waits until there's only a few left, and when they try to check out, the box is sold out. Get it now.
Well, honestly, Joe, when you did your video, you left it on a cliffhanger. Does anybody want to know if I'm going to pick one of these up and we'll discuss this?
Well, I discussed it for the first 90 minutes.
I'll have to go back because I was actually driving.
Yeah, no, I pre-ordered one after that. At the time,
you did. I had almost no doubt in my mind. Where's Danny?
Melody. Wait a sec. And Joe, I want to do one of my famous Mazzy promos for Mayo. He bought this box. You now need to donate. Give him a dono, $5, $10, something to offset the price. You love his entertainment. He's
$1,300.
He's here twice a day sometimes, giving you entertainment. You don't have to pay for cable. All you have to do is have the internet, and if you and look on your phone and watch this show every day. You know you're going to watch his unboxing. So right now, go to that button below and press $5 or $10 and donate to Joe Mayo. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Mazzy. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. Let's see if it works.
Sometimes it doesn't. All we need is 5 people to donate.
This is Melody.
Okay, $2. That's fine. Whatever.
Melody started the ball rolling.
Come
I'll
on,
go first.
Let's donate.
Now, honestly, Joe,
this guy lives in Jersey. Are you in Jersey?
No, New York.
I'm in New York. I'm in New York.
Are you in Queens or where are you? No.
I'm in New York. That's good enough.
Yeah, you don't want to say.
He's in friggin' New York. Come on. You gotta help this guy out.
Honestly, Joe, I watch another guy. He's a comic book artist named Ethan Van Sciver. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He drew Green Lantern. He has a comic book called Cyberfrog. He, on his show, he'll review other comic books, but he'll make the people in the chat say, if you want me to review this book, he's like $500 tonight. He goes, and I'll review it tomorrow. You know, maybe you might need that approach, you know.
I don't know. That's shameless, boy. Oof.
No, he doesn't, you know. People do it, and they do it. They do it every time.
As far as getting a Don Uber box, there's only going to be one Don Uber box, and Don will be in the box.
So if you want
He'll
Joe
be
to
in there
review
alive.
The box, that's what you say. If you want Joe to review the box, help him pay for the thing.
Yeah, the Jerry Lewis telethon. You have to sing when you walk through a storm.
There we go. There we go, Joe.
James Farley. Thank you so much, James.
King James.
Thank you. Yeah, so you see there's 61 left. We're going to be getting into the 50s pretty soon, folks. So make sure you order your these titles. They have super deluxe box. Sorry, you keep doing the same.
There's going to be more coming in. You say.
Come on.
We love you.
What else
we love you, Joe.
You know, look, okay. Those of you who go to Starbucks, you know, you pay $5 for a friggin' cafe latte. Buy one less coffee and give that $5 to Joe Mayo for this Uber holy moly box.
Well, $1,300 if you want to pay for the whole thing.
Yeah. All we need is, 1,300 people at $1 or 2 people for 600 or whatever it is, whatever it comes to.
I can't wait to people. He actually was on there begging for people to pay for the box. All out of context. Yeah, that's a joke.
While you're at it, go to Mazzy's music channel and donate. Put a couple bucks in the kitty over there too while you're at it. So
yeah. And you can go to my eBay page, 16mm Kingdom
on eBay. This is like the Jerry Lewis telethon.
Yeah, you can buy any of the items I have. I have a lot of film. If you're into 16mm film, that's something I want to start. I want to start just like you guys do with the record people. I want to start with film people. There's nobody on eBay that talks about 16mm, any kind of film talk, about actual movie collecting and film preservation and stuff. I'm going to start it.
Let's get the McCartney Legs guys up here to talking. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, can you come up? Oh, there he is. This is Adam. Hello, Adam. What's going on? Farrell McNulty, thank you so much. Mazzy is
hero.
Hey, Tom, are you going to come up here and so we can have like a McCartney-Lennon tug of war here?
Yeah, and I noticed something interesting. I want to nail Tom on. By the way, Tom and I are supposed to do. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired from doing this. We're supposed to do a movie chat tonight on my movie channel at 9 p.m. Eastern. So,
oopsies.
Tired. But I noticed that Tom opted not to get the big set. Right, Tom? And I got 2 words for you.
What's
John Lennon.
Is that a candy bar?
Oh, here he is.
I'm waiting for the Tom donation. Come on, pony up there, Tommy boy.
There he is.
Hey, Tom.
Hello. And Mellow Joe doesn't need any help. He's doing just fine. Okay.
At night looking to see if to break in the cars to get money to buy this thing. What are you doing there?
He could have worked a little longer and get a little bit better of a pension, but he decided to quit early. So he doesn't get any of my money.
Oh no,
61
you're just
copies
jealous
left.
because they don't give you money. But be that as it may, no. But I did pre-order it, right? You know that, right? Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I know.
pre-ordered it.
I know. And where are all the cash grab people for this? I haven't heard anybody bitching about
Oh,
cash
they've
grab
been
for this
here.
yet.
Although
Go to the
they've
Hoffman forums. They're over there, believe me.
they've
Yeah.
been here.
All
I'm
right.
trying to look for your cue, Tom. First, hold on.
I
So
sway along with him. I really do. It's
I
like
think My Love goes on for 3 minutes too long. The best part is the melody and the guitar solo, but it goes on way too long.
disagree.
It's a good
That's
song,
true.
but where's out its welcome really
All
fast.
right.
But I like
For
Red
me,
Rose Speedway.
it's the
Just
song
got out of
every
seeing
night
the
for
8
me.
movie.
We'll talk about that more, of course, later. But
Yeah.
thumbs up, down, or in the middle? Up. Okay. Still got to see it before this week is out. And Tom, even though you're not getting the really expensive version of this
Right.
Lennon set, you're like me. You believe it. Hey, spend the money the way we want. Who's people to tell you how to spend your?
Absolutely. Quit your goddamn crying if you don't like the price. I hate
Exactly.
it. I can't stand it. I mean, those people they're jealous because they can't buy it.
There's people out there thinking that we've got some kind of mental problems or something because we
Oh, I
we
know.
we're using the money and enjoying ourselves. I think it's
Oh,
the people that are worrying about it and complaining about
yeah.
people who are buying it more that have problems.
All the people were like, "Oh, you got to get up 85 times to flip over those singles box set." And the McCartney said, "Oh, poor you!
Yeah.
You got to get up. Screw you! What do you
No,
think we did when we were kids? That's all we did was flip over singles growing up.
correct.
Oh my god!
How many do we throw away on strip bars and stuff? They're always single.
What do you do? Yeah, yeah, don't look at me.
No, I'm all good with it. I'm all good with it. You'll never hear me complain about the price of anything that comes out. Listen, there is a lot in that Uber set.
How much do people pay for Super Bowl tickets?
Oh,
How much
yeah.
are Super Bowl
Oh,
tickets?
there you go. Yeah, for one night or one show,
One night.
game. Yeah. It's all up.
17,500 to meet Mick Jagger and Keith Richards for 90 seconds. 17.5. Do you got that? For 90 seconds.
Here's the thing. I understand. Live and let live. I understand if some people out there feel that they don't think this is worth it. They think it's too much money. They think that they're not going to spend the money on this. They think that it's a ripoff or whatever. Okay, they're entitled to that opinion, and I believe they're entitled to state that opinion. But when they start attacking people and saying like, "What's wrong with you?" or "What why are you an idiot?" or something, that stuff I think it goes above and beyond. Personally, it's still an opinion. There's still a lot of opinion, but it's not really fair.
I agree.
So we haven't had an update lately. What we're down to, we were 61. We were at 61 the last time. Come on, get those donos in for mail. $5, $10 donos. Help them pay here. Come on.
No. He's a big boy.
Don't listen to No, yeah, that's right. Sour grapes. Absolutely. I'm a retiree, man. I'm a retiree.
No, that was by choice.
Yeah, but we're not paying him we're not giving him rewards for buying the set. We're giving him rewards for doing the review and giving what he thinks about it and the time he's going to spend doing all that.
50 other people will be doing a review. Okay?
Yeah, but it's not Joe Mayo's review.
No, everybody's got their own individual style and
that's right. Yeah.
Thing, Hello, Psychos Platters.
Hey, Paul. Joe, this could be one of your biggest shows yet. You have all the all-stars coming on. You can have your
Oh yeah, well, is there a link up there? Let me put one more because I gotta go. I have to go and pick up my girlfriend soon, so I can't stay on much longer. But I went on longer than I thought I was with this already. But
did you order it, Mazzy?
I'm not sure.
He's not telling anybody right now.
That's a yes.
But I notice he keeps
not
on
sure.
saying, "Let's get down." He wants to know what's the count now? How many are left? How many are left? And we keep getting upgrades. How many are left? We went from like 90 down to
You
like
know what,
63.
Joe? If you could talk to Sean Lennon, Joe, and get him to donate one to your channel that you could give away, man, you know how many subscribers you'd get from that?
Yeah.
Holy moly!
He's
You hear that, Sean? Think of that, Sean.
He's gonna get the smaller of the two boxes.
Yeah, but imagine they gave him a big $1,300 one.
Hello, Paul, aka Psycho Splatters.
Hey guys,
Paul.
how are you?
What's up, buddy?
Been a busy day. I'm just finally chillaxing a little bit.
Chillax.
Although I know this is about a John Lennon centric.
Yeah, it's just about that. Yeah.
Well,
It's about that.
I don't know. I'm kind of half looking forward to this set, but like I said, I'm going to be, I think, a little bit more curious if they ever come out with the sometime in Walls and Bridges. That's where I think I might be a little bit more interested, but I'll probably end up getting the 2 CD edition.
You'll get the EP edition, right?
That's right. It's strong EP.
I may be really interested in a double fantasy one. That's the album for me for John Lennon. Out of all of his albums, double fantasy is for me.
That could be really good too.
Yeah,
it could be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Robert S. I look like Robert S.
I don't really think so.
I can't picture Robert S.
You've got glasses and a cap.
No, the only Mazzy, I swear to God, before I knew who you guys were, I thought you and P.T. Bull were like brothers.
Who is
you
that?
guys look Patrick, the guy with the record, the other record guy.
Patrick. Yeah.
Yeah, you and him look similar to me when I first
I met him twice.
We
look nothing alike. It's okay.
No, probably not. But just the way you wear hats, the glasses, he put his hair back and stuff. You guys look like brothers.
I don't have hair, so
right, exactly. That's the difference.
Not anymore.
So is there an actual countdown with how many of those Uber sets there are?
Yeah, that's what we were saying. It was down to 63, I think. Somebody was keeping an eye on as it goes down.
Oh, very cool.
A lot for one day.
I can tell you, I kind of believe. I didn't think this was going to sell out. If it does, I mean, I know you can still get the Harrison crate on his website.
3,000 of those. This is 1,100. And also, I think it's not as crazy big physically. It's like what 14 inches square. That
right.
Box, you could put your dead relatives in that thing.
Now we're at the 50s.
59 left.
59 left.
Wow. Just think that's 1,000 people that all have the money that they have no problem parting with.
Speaking of that Harrison crate, that was what the sidebar. I know this is Lennon centric, but I got to tell you something. Today I walked into a store I usually go into at least once a month. I walk through the door, and what the hell do I see on the floor but that Harrison crate? I have never seen one. And I'm sitting and I go, my God. I'm like, and my buddy who works there goes, what? And I go, and I pointed to it. He goes, yeah, I know, right? And I'm going, what? They wanted $7.99.
Wow. Well,
and it looks new.
That's cheaper than that's cheaper than what it was going for.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what that guy gave him for for it, because if he's selling it for $7.99, I'm wondering if you lowball them and try to get them for like $400 or $500.
I don't
probably. Usually, you bring something to a store to sell. It's like pawn shopping. You're only going to get pennies on the dollar. They don't care what it is.
I'll say this: if it sits there for 3 months, I'll go to him and go, okay, look. It obviously didn't work for you for $7.99. Here's $3.50. We'll call it a day. Seriously.
Could
he
be.
might look at you. Yeah, give me $500 and it's yours, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah,
I'll give you what I got. What I paid for it.
Yeah.
Come on, Tom. You got to order yours. Let's go.
And think of all the money. I know it's not.
Because it's not Paul. That's why.
Think of all the people that waste money on
drugs.
Know
me, Joe. You know me.
That's a good point that KRWD makes, because I bet you a lot of these sales could be, mom and pop, record store owners that are going to have it as the centerpiece behind the counter, and they're going to raise the money on it. Once it'll be like now it'll be $1,700, $2,000 eventually. Like I could see that happening.
Now, here's what everybody, if you go to the Lennon website, if you want it, there is this option called Affirm. And what it is that if you qualify, you can it's like a layaway system. Affirm is like a credit system. If you qualify, you can pay like $127 every 2 weeks if you don't have the money, say right now, to pay for it. But but that's how I've been paying for that's how I paid for the singles set, was this thing called Affirm. So there's that option out there if people, want to do that.
Right. There are ways.
That's true.
Just imagine. Remember, Kiss put out a coffin that cost literally $10,000 that Gene Simmons delivered to you, to your house.
Remember, there was that like for $7,000. There was that Yellow Submarine licensed jukebox, Beatles jukebox.
Right, that's right.
Now they didn't put it out, but they licensed it, and it was on the Beatles sites. I think even Mark Lapidus had it, like at least listed on his site at one point.
Right.
This isn't anything new about collectibles.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, look at all this art stuff, the faux lithographs that Lennon has done, and Ringo has done. Those books that Ringo puts out. I mean,
yeah, but how can our good boys are all about peace and love? How can they be capitalists? How can they charge all this money for their good?
It ain't always just.
I know that's what I'm saying, though. But the people. I know that. You know that.
Living in a material world.
About it, don't.
Living in a material world, and you see Frere Park behind him. It's
Yeah.
Friar Parks.
But don't you think in some cases, I may be talking out of my butt, but in some cases, don't the artists have the option to say, a power to say if they want? I think can you lower that a bit?
Sure, they can.
But they're being sold in the idea, your fans would really love this. This is something just for the niche fan that needs everything, and that's how it's easy for them to do it, because they comply with it by supplying all the material.
What do you I mean, Mello, you guys were talking earlier. What about these people you said that can afford the VIP thing where you get 10 grand, you meet Jagger for 5 minutes, you get an autograph and a picture, and before the show, maybe the people that have listened to the what do you call it, the sound check, all that stuff. Everybody can't do that.
No, I mean, I draw the line there.
The Super Bowl, WrestleMania, World Series, any of these major things. My friend that lived here, he saw Elvis pay $12 to see Elvis back in 1974. So, I mean, Woodstock was $8. These major things now are so blown up. Just think, how much would a box set like this be back in the 80s? It wouldn't be $1,300.
It $8 back in 1969.
It went up. I thought it was 51 last we looked.
No, 59 was what it was. That's just a repeat of 59.
Got it.
What kid had $8 though? I mean, still, that was kind of a lot of money back then. Yeah. I know. If you had a job, I'm sure it was possible, but minimum wage in '69. What was it, Mazzy? Probably, $3.50.
Yeah. Well, I worked. No, we were talking about this on another thing. In 1973, I worked at a record store. 1974, I moved out of the house, and I worked in a record store, and I got like $3.75 an hour. I had an apartment. I was going to college. College was $350 for the entire semester of all units. San Francisco State University. My apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment with my buddy. It was in San Francisco, $220 a month, so $110 a piece. We had a car. We went out to dinner. We went to Winterland almost every week. Tickets were $4 to $6. The Stones ticket in '72 with Stevie Wonder was $5.50. So the most expensive thing, it was in '76 when the last waltz cost $25, and people were upset. $25, but it included Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. Yeah.
But that was still a lot of money, and nobody knew who was going to show up for that last waltz show. you know. But
I would have died to have seen Van Morrison in that show. Oh my God!
This ticket to the Moody Blues, $9.50 in 1979. $9.50 to see the Moody Blues.
And you made $60 a week. No, I don't. I don't know.
No, you're right.
But all is fair with discretionary spending. How about non-discretionary spending, like I do? Hey, it's Beatly Tone.
Come on up, Beatly Tone.
Yeah, we got a very little bit of time if you want to come up and say hello. You know, add your thoughts to this thing. I know you made a video about it.
Hey, Joe, I wanted to ask you, because you're buying this set now, what is the one thing out of all these items that you're particularly, besides the music, I'm not talking about the music, all the trinkets and all that. What is the one thing that you're really excited to?
I want the stuff like in the McCartney suitcase. No, I'm kidding. What I want is the cube. I like the packaging of it, the Yoko cube and all that. And I think that's a nice piece to admire. You know, set it up and you can look at it and see the picture, especially the side where you got John from the Mind Games single, the white. Black and white thing.
You figuring out where in your place you're going to put it? You're figuring it's going?
Yeah, it'll have to go in the living room right now in this place.
Put it on top of the crate.
Or, you know, I already got stuff on top of the crate, and also the McCartney crate and the Harrison crate. But I don't know the size up there. I mean, if I could fit it up there, I would put it up there. But it's really heavy. It'd be too heavy to put up there.
It's going to be heavy. It is going to be heavy. I mean, you know, how many LPs was it again? 9 LPs. I mean, that is pretty heavy.
I thought 7.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've heard 7. I heard 9. I don't know.
Well, 7 in the set, and then you got that picture disc, and then maybe
you got a bunch of picture discs in there too.
That was, I tell you, that was so confusing to me.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading it. I was reading it. I didn't know what the heck I was reading. I mean, I didn't even have some of those words you had to look up. I mean, I don't even know what the heck they're talking.
Bespoke. I don't know why they use bespoke. That's something you can ask Sean. What do you mean by bespoke?
Yeah.
So funny.
When we are convinced of something we truly want, we become self-defense lawyers in our minds. And it's almost impossible for someone else to convince us out of such position. Weird. Well, maybe, but it goes the other way too. When people are very
it goes both. Yeah.
It goes both ways, right? And you know, there's people right now in the comments and such that are like convincing themselves and trying to convince other people out there that people are crazy and what are they thinking?
Right.
Why are they buying these to justify their own feelings and not getting it? You know. Hey, Beatly Tone is here. I'm bringing him up.
Hey,
Tone.
Hi.
Now, I want to give him a second because Tone, I know you did a video. I haven't had the pleasure of watching it yet. I know.
I saw yours and I got out of breath when listening to it.
Oh yeah, well,
you were getting out of breath and I was getting out of breath just watching it because
I was just rattling on the screen what was on the screen. But I know you're not getting the big super duper one.
No,
that I know.
No, I can't, and you know. I feel okay about it because I am a survivor of the All Things Must Pass Uber box. I didn't get that either.
You didn't get that either.
So
me either.
And I'm still living a happy life.
You got a chance here. 57 left. 57 left.
We don't know how many
I
are
knew
left
they
in the
would
UK.
sell.
We don't know how many are left in the UK store.
Oh yeah, the UK. This is the
and
US.
They're paying more over there. They're not
Canada.
paying $13.50. They're paying way more in shipping and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So is anyone getting it?
Well, I put down
I love you.
I can't remember.
Andy's getting it too, Tone.
Yeah, see, that's one of the people I knew. I didn't know if he wanted to know. Andy,
are you getting it, Tom?
One. What's that?
Are you getting it, Tom?
I am. Well, it's not McCartney, so why would I spend all that extra money?
He's taking a page out of my book.
I can't remember if I bought it yet, so I don't know yet.
Yeah, we know, Maz. We know you got it, Mazzy. You're not fooling anyone. Oh, I do.
Well, whoever gets it, I should be looking forward to seeing their unboxing video.
Yeah,
I saw a video. I don't say who. So somebody was like, oh, you're crazy. If you're getting this, you're crazy. Yeah, you're crazy. And then he goes, but if anybody wants to get this, more power to you. More power to you. Good. God bless you. Good for you.
I haven't watched Matthew Street's video yet. What did he say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, has to do with
Did he do
somebody
a
who
parody
named
of
himself after a street?
Well,
he probably
I'll
made
tell
up
you
a
what,
parody,
man,
right?
it's going to be a race to the bottom to see who puts out that review video first. I'm telling you, it's going to be a race. As soon
the
as
question, whatever you're going to do, the question is, are you happy with your decision? Whether you didn't get it or you did get it.
Right.
I don't know why so many people are so worried about people that spend the money and are happy.
I know.
Why does that bother people so much? What's
like
wrong in the head with these people?
They're not dipping into other people's bank accounts.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
It's their money and do what they like.
They're going to be in a race for views because the one with the first unboxing is the one that's going to get the most views. Everyone's going to glom on that.
You think?
What they're racing.
Not always, right, Beatly Tone? Some people that come on a little later, and they go past you.
Us people on the West Coast.
I mean, we got over 3,000 views when we unboxed the crates. But I think Mazzy, you probably got more. And we were the first ones to unbox it.
Wow.
Let me see. Uber.
Beatly Tone, did you say it costs £13.50 sterling and only one per customer?
Yeah, so obviously it's more expensive in the UK than it is in the US.
In the US, you can get
like 1,700 pounds.
You get 4 per customer in the US.
Oh, really? It's 1 here. The other box, the normal deluxe, you can get 4, but the super deluxe, 1 each.
No, you imagine if you were, Joe, can you imagine if you were still doing what you were doing and you had to drop off a couple of those?
Oh, yeah. I never had to deliver that.
That's when I was putting.
Yeah, it is Mazzy. Yeah, rolling it over. Yeah. I saw that video.
I did it slow motion there.
Let me blow that up a little bit. Well, it's slow, but.
I have 65,000 views of it.
Oh, my God. How much did that weigh?
Well, I mean, of course, I'm overdoing it. It's theatrical.
Right.
You know. It's pretty heavy, though. I had
and
one of those.
What does this John Lennon set weigh?
How much did it weigh?
At least 10 pounds, at least, I would think, right? Or more.
Would you say 10 pounds?
For the John Lennon set.
Oh, I don't know what the weight on the Lennon, but the Uber box is like, what, 70 pounds, 5 pounds?
Oh, wow. I didn't realize.
Yeah, if this sells out, this will not be a one-time thing.
It remains to be seen, right? But I agree with Tom.
It's almost sold out.
Yeah. And they got 56 left.
1,100 is a good amount because 3,000 with the Uber box. I think it's too physically big, the Uber box,
Yeah.
And 3,000, now, this big.
Yeah.
That might have been the determining factor why there's still many left because of the size of how big it is. How many people, small apartments, and I can't fit that in here.
Yeah.
Well, go Ringo. Going good.
They know what people spend on eBay too, and what they're willing to pay for stuff on eBay. So I think that kind of factors in it a little bit too. They know what people are gonna dish out. I mean, if you make it elaborate like this box is and put a lot of stuff in it, I think it's well worth it. I just didn't do it.
See, if they really wanted to make money, they talk about cash grabs, which I don't believe in really. But look at the Beatles mono box. They could sell it for $600 now or $700 now, and put 1,000 or 2,000 in print, and would probably sell out because that got good reviews.
True.
People are paying $2,000 for it. Not us, but people are.
I guarantee if they decided they were going to put out a limited edition 8-track, there would be people going out there buying 8-track machines just to be able to have that in their collection. Oh, I got to have that.
I think Tom agrees. I'm surprised that the McCartney singles box sold out so fast.
Yeah, I mean, that was a day and a half it sold out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And physical media is dead?
Yeah, well.
It's limited.
Yeah, I think that was the thing with the McCartney singles box. It was, it's just all music, really, wasn't it? It was just all music. There weren't bits and bobs, little souvenirs and artifacts and things like that. It was just a real solid. I
would love the Harrison and Lennon estates to do a singles box set like that as well.
Yeah.
I'd love more live stuff to see. Like George did a whole tour with Eric Clapton. I'd love to see one of those professionally, or even just like a song from each show.
Well, there is a 2 LP live set of that, but
right, but video, to be able to watch them and stuff.
Right.
Mm. Oh, so we have a little bit of time, but not much. I got to get going very soon. In fact, maybe I should end it here. I'm sorry that that became on later, Cone, but
no worries.
But thanks for saying hi and giving a couple of thoughts. And thank you, everybody, in the comments for helping out. Thank you to Mazzy for popping up here, and the Melody and Tom, Psycho Splatters, Paul.
Thank you.
And everybody, like I say, just be happy. That's all I'm saying. I'm happy. I'm going to get this thing one way or the other.
Keep those donations coming every time Joe does a live stream. Give him some monetary love.
New show drop, and we're going to do a live stream between 6:30 and 7 Central Standard.
Yep.
Tonight.
There it is. There it is. All right. And don't forget, our movie thing, too. Don't forget our movie shows tonight on my movie channel, which is now Mr. Mayo's Movies. It's simple. Okay. Live at 9. All right, everybody. Talk soon. See ya.
God bless.
Cheers.